Today's slightly interesting fact.
Slightly interesting fact.
Useless knowledge.
Useless knowledge
Useless knowledge you
probably don't need to know.
So a man has been having a headache for over 20 years, and he hails from China. And what a hospital has discovered is called the cause of the headache is beyond belief. Doctors at Shenzhen University General Hospital have discovered a very, very strange object in the left side of the skull of a 28-year-old Chinese patient who had been suffering from a headache for over 20 years.
All his life, basically.
All his life. Almost
all his life, yeah.
And they've revealed that the small object was nothing other than a
bullet.
Wow.
How did this happen? Well, the hospital staff, they asked the patient if he had any idea how the bullet got into his skull, but he had nothing to say, and he was shocked to learn that his severe headaches for 20 years had been due to this bullet. So he said, and I quote him by saying, he said, "I had a constant headache which was very painful lately. I thought it was caused by lack of sleep all days of the week, but sleep was not the reason, especially since the headache kept me awake at night before going to the doctor. So the MRI procedure showed the real reason." And the doctors told the young man that he was very lucky to be alive because the bullet was very close to the temple, but did not fully penetrate the skull or hit the brain. He was admitted for an emergency surgery, which was successful, and doctors removed the bullet, which was about 1 centimeter long and 0.5 centimeter in diameter. I cannot believe he survived. I mean, because when a bullet comes in, it hits brain tissue, and it causes also blood clot in the brain.
Yes.
So this is crazy how this happened.
Yeah, and doctors said he was lucky to just be alive in the first place.
Yeah.
The bullet was pretty close to his temple, but hadn't fully penetrated his skull or even hit the brain as well. And he was had a successful surgery, in fact, to remove the bullet, and has since been discharged and is recovering at home. Now, this weird news story reminds me of a similar case. There was a man who lived with a spoon in his esophagus for a whole year, not realizing that it was there. And how?
No, there's a funnier story. It's very much related to this one as well, because there was another, also back in 2007, I read an article about a Florida man. He also woke up.
It's always a Florida man.
It's always a Florida man. He woke up with a severe headache, and he asked his wife to drive him to a hospital where the doctors found this bullet lodged behind his right ear.
Okay.
So basically what happened was the nurse looked at him and said, "It appears that you've been shot." And he said, "No way." And the man's wife, she fled the emergency room when the bullet was discovered. Okay? That gives you a hint. But later told deputies that she had accidentally shot her husband as he slept early on that same day. So she was jailed on a weapons violation charge, while deputies pursued additional charges. And the husband, who was at the time 45 years old, woke up with a head pain so severe he suspected he was having an aneurysm and asked his wife to take him to the emergency room. Then the police arrested the wife after obtaining a search warrant and finding a gun and bloody rags in the couple's home. And this is crazy. And then the husband, he stayed in the hospital, and he was in stable condition, but she was jailed.
Wow.
How did he not know, and why did she shoot him?
Well, that's number one. Why did she shoot him? Secondly,
how did he not know?
If she did shoot him accidentally, surely she should just wake him up and say, "Man,
I shot you,
husband, honey, I've just shot you. Honey, I've shrunk the kids.
Crazy.
Honey, I've shot you. Khalas." But you can still, it's crazy.
How can you not
I guess
know
it's the
that
head
you were
trauma.
shot? Yeah, maybe.
Head trauma
that's what it is.
It does funny things to you,
It's true.
Wow.
Interesting. Well, I'm glad they made it, though.
Well, that's number one. But I want to find out how this young man who says he's lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
That
20 years.
That he had a bullet. Where was he?
Yeah.
How did you get shot and not know?
Exactly.
That is the question.
So
we need to have a doctor with us, a neurosurgeon.
For sure, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The bullet being about 1 centimeter long and 0.5 centimeters in diameter is still a large piece of object to be just there in your head. And shocking. Shocking situation at the moment. But yeah, that's the story that's emerged from China after an MRI scan that a 28-year-old who was suffering his headache for over 20 years was shot at the age of 8, probably then.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's 28 now.
So he's discovered through an
How did
MRI
this
scan and a procedure that shows that it was in fact a bullet in the head. Well, strange world that we live in. Well, we'll let you live the imagination and things that we've just talked about. So we've got the business headlines lined up for you this morning. So stay with us here on the Morning Majlis. We shall continue the discussions and we will be right back after the business headlines.
If you liked this episode of The Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.